Welcome to Medicare Lagniappe, where we cut the confusion on all your Medicare-related questions and cover topics plus real-life scenarios to empower you for a better understanding of your Medicare options today.
Welcome to Medicare Lagniappe, Fussell Group's premier site of learning everything about Medicare. My name is Caroline Badon, Director of Marketing here at the Fussell Group, and today I am here with Jeff Myers, our Agency Director. Jeff, it is so nice to have you.
Thank you, Caroline.
So tell me a little bit about your role at the Fussell Group as Agency Director.
Wow. So, as an agency director, it's the role specifically is as it's stated. Directing the agency for any new opportunities, looking for recruitment opportunities, partnering with some of the plans, the carriers as far as things that we're doing out in the community, partnering with some of the entities like a GenCare, Centerwell, Oak Street, that are the primary care practices that a lot of times we do some business with. um, working in the community a little bit. So part of all of that is just really what I function as. And then of course discussing sales and new opportunities. Where can we get new sales? How can we grow the agency and put new sales opportunities in front of the agents? So it's very very robust. It's very wide. I don't have a very distinguished role. It's all encompassing. There's a lot of things that I do.
So from that, I kind of took away a lot of relationship building and a lot to do with driving the sales of the agency. So with that, what do you have to do with like the new agents and the existing agents? How does your role intertwine with them, helping them be successful and be a part of the agency?
Wow, it's really fun for me because as part of my role, I get to be out there where the agents are.
Mhm.
Some of my role is in the office, but a lot of what I function in and where I'd really succeed and help the agents is being out there where they are. So with a new agent, I might do ride-alongs with the new agent. I've got a couple of them that I'm kind of working with right now. One over in Slidell, one over in Lake Charles. So it's very, very
Spread
sparse as
out.
far as spread out as far as how my role is working. But as they're having an issue, or if they've got a new client that they're working with, then I'll go with them and I'll help them with that. So I function sort of in a sales manager role in that way. But then as far as the relationship is concerned, like you just talked about, the relationships that I have with a Centerwell, or a GenCare or an Oak Street, I work within those relationships to try to bring them into that and add value to the agent by way of giving them opportunities in the community. Having a good conversation with Sandy the other night when he and I were out on the road together, we talked about various things that I could help him to integrate into. And those various things are, like um, the food pantries.
Mhm.
I've got some relationships with food pantries, or like our relationship with the New Orleans Mission. They have food pantries that they support. So it's using those relationships to try to open that door for him as well. So it's really fun to me. To me, it's a blast because I get to go out and do those types of things.
Right. So giving these agents some different avenues of ways to make their build their own relationships through the relationships that you've built and ways to be successful as well.
100%.
So what are some things that you would say makes an agent successful, whether they're a new agent, an existing agent with a book, and what are some ways that the Fussell Group can help?
Wow. So helping a new agent get started is really what I pride myself and what we pride the agency in doing. We help them to figure out what doors to open, and then help them to open those doors.
Mhm.
Was talking with Mr. Bill just a little while ago about an agent that is in his family, and he was talking to me about what that agent has been doing, and I was like, wow, Mr. Bill, I need to go sit down with him. This is Kurt that we're talking about, and I need to help him to broaden that spectrum, broaden that thought process because
Right.
as far as what he's doing is great,
Mhm.
but maybe I need to go help him with that.
Mhm.
Maybe I need to go ride along with him and do some sort of an introduction or listen to what he's saying because he's out there trying to find those opportunities. He's talking to financial planners. Is
Yeah.
that really in his wheelhouse to do, or is it not? I don't know. I need to go find out from him. So those are the types of things that helping a new agent to broaden their thought process and to think more about the community opportunities or referral opportunities that exist out there is really cool for me. You know, like you and I went and rode one time. We
Yeah,
went and found some opportunities to do some of that stuff, and you know, we spent a lot of time conversing.
right,
So it's to me, it's not just about bringing them and building a relationship for them somewhere, but it's also building a relationship with that agent.
right.
So then that way, if they've got questions, they know that they can access me. You know, they can send me an email, they can send me a text message, they can give me a phone call
Hmm.
and say, "Hey Jeff, look, you know, I've got this idea. What do you think?" And I'm not saying that my ideas are the best in the world,
Right, but
but
it's advice that any new agent
100%,
needs. Right.
it can help them to build from it.
Right. So I know personally from selling myself, building a Medicare book of business can be trying,
Okay,
can take time.
of course.
A lot of people I've seen just from being in the agency at the beginning will be like, oh, this is too much. Like, I don't know if I can do this. Like, I need the financial support
Backing
right
support.
now. And so, talking about the relationships that you've built and the community events and things that you do, those are the things that you would suggest to a new agent to get started, right? Because you can't just sit at home and be like, "Oh, okay, well maybe someone will knock on my door and need Medicare." Like it doesn't work like that.
It does not.
So what are some of the events here at the Fussell Group that you bring these new agents to or that we offer that you would suggest for new agents to get involved in? Is it just food pantries? Like
Oh,
what's the give me a little bit.
sure. So, you know, we've got some relationships with the YMCA's. So that's a good area of opportunity for an agent. Council on Aging facilities. You know, we participate here locally with Coast,
Mhm.
the Council on Aging for St. Tammany, Jefferson Parish. We do some things down there. Shelley and Donna have some great relationships with those folks. You know, Robin's got great relationships with the people over in the Baton Rouge area for those Council on Aging facilities. Again, Centerwell, you know, Oak Street, Gen Care, they have facilities and they have a community room at each one of their facilities, and they do things that they like an agent to participate with them with. But they're also out in the community,
Right.
so they're driving some opportunities for us. But living facilities for an agent, you know, when an agent gets into the business, they don't have to know everything about Medicare to start doing the activities that puts them in front of folks.
Right. And then that's when they learn.
100%. And so, you know, I like to talk to agents about, you know, think of where a member might eat, where they might play,
Mhm.
where they might pray, and where they might stay.
Mhm.
So, you know, eating. Everybody's got to eat, right?
Right?
Many of them eat at home, or they go through food pantries, or they might go to restaurants. You
Mhm.
know, you might see a group of senior gentlemen at a McDonald's every morning for coffee, or every
Right.
Saturday morning, or whatever. If you're where they are, then you're around them.
Right.
Now, can you go approach them? No.
No.
But you have the opportunity to being around them, and you get to know them, and maybe they'll ask a question.
Right.
You know, um, where they play. You know, think of senior centers, think
Mhm.
of
Golf
bingo halls,
courses.
golf courses,
Yeah.
bowling alleys, things of that nature, where people are being active.
Right.
So that's where they play, where they pray. Of course, churches.
Mhm.
You know, there's a lot of church groups that are senior church groups,
Mhm.
and if we can integrate a new agent into one of those, that maybe they're involved in their own church, or maybe they're not, and they need to be involved in a church, and then they can start kind of perpetuating themselves there, and then of course where they stay,
Right.
where do they live? You know, senior living communities. You know, your grandfather lives in a senior living community. We've
Mhm.
done various things there and
Right.
been participatory, and he loves seeing us when we go in there because now he's, you know, Mr. Ray that gets to be a part of everything. So it's
Right.
really fun for him, but it's also socially interactive for us as well. And you know, those are the types of things that we like to really do and really try to integrate the new agents into and get them thinking along those lines. Um, Not everybody's going to take the initiative. So when we're looking for a new agent, we're looking for somebody that really has the initiative, the drive. They're not somebody that's going to sit on their couch and expect that they're going to get new membership because they're sitting on their couch and it's going to be driven to them. It doesn't work that way.
So that's another thing that I'd like to touch on is when they do come to the agency as a new agent or say they've been here, a part of our agency for a few years, they've been kind of slow getting into it, but they really want to kick it up in gear. What are some of those like personality traits or things that you think make an agent successful like mentally?
Sure. So personality traits that we look for, you know, I can train somebody on the business, but I can't train somebody on go get them.
Right.
You know, they've got to have some drive, some desire, some maybe they're newly retiring, or maybe they're just coming out of college and they really want to start some sort of a career. You know, we take a spectrum from all of those people. We've got some people that have just recently changed. I talked about Kurt. He just came out of another industry,
Hmm.
you know, and got into this business. So we can take anybody as long as they've got some work ethic.
Right.
They've got to come here with the work ethic because I
You can
can't.
lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink.
Absolutely, absolutely. But at the same time, you know, if they've got a work ethic, we've got to be able to train them properly.
Hmm.
And so that's what we do very emphatically is training. We get them really engaged in things. We're doing Medicare 101s. So trying to get new agents to come out and see that Medicare 101 and what does that look like and how do they get involved and can they envision themselves doing it?
Yeah, those are
You
very
know,
helpful.
absolutely, because I mean you've seen, and then the membership, you know, they're like, wow, this is a lot of information.
Hmm.
We did one last night that we had 37 people in the room,
Yeah.
and you know, any new agent that would have been there listening and hearing would have gained knowledge on
Hmm.
Medicare, but at the same time seen an opportunity.
Right.
So it's
And
really
even
cool.
as an agent, if you don't walk away with a sale or you don't walk away with a, permission to contact or something like that, those seniors saw you. They saw the knowledge that you have. They saw that you want to help them,
Yep,
and they're going to remember that. You
exactly,
know,
100%,
Those
100%.
are the things that they remember. They don't remember those people that call them on the phone and try to get something out of them and then hang up. They remember those personal interactions. So those Medicare 101s are fantastic.
Yeah, love those things. That's one of the biggest things that we're doing right now. That's really been very effective for our
Yes.
agency as well as for the agents.
Yes. So going back to the relationship thing, and then the way that the Fussell Group supports agents with training and things like that, um, how do other employees of the Fussell Group kind of tie in with your role, like the area managers and things like that? How do you play a role with them? How do they play a role with the agents?
So as we have a new agent coming in, most of the time they're going to be somewhere tied to a territory, right?
Hmm.
So that agent manager or area coordinator, as we're calling them, that particular person is going to be responsible to help them engage. And by way of engaging, there's the plans that are doing things. There are community partners that are doing things, council and agings that are doing things. So we're asking that they help to drive those people to do those things. We're doing coffee talks on Mondays. We're doing What's Up Wednesdays on Wednesdays. And then on those two things, Angel's giving ideas, you
Right.
know, and then some of the participation in there gives other agents ideas. So if they're doing all of that as part of training, then we have this online training program that we're doing. Then we're also potentially going to do in-person trainings to just kind of round the troops up a little bit. You know, so all of these different things gives them another little piece,
They're
another
getting
little
something from
nugget.
everywhere.
Absolutely. And that's what I
Knowledge,
love about what we're doing.
information, advice, relationships, like it's coming from everywhere.
100%. And then what's really awesome about our agency, Caroline, and this is what I love about what our agents are doing, they're all willing to help.
Hmm.
So if there's a new agent,
Yeah.
then there's probably 15 agents that will take them on a ride along.
Right.
That will
Answer
show them the road.
questions,
Yeah, go have a cup of coffee with them and understand about the business. You know, none of our
listen to what
agents,
they've done.
yeah, and all
Yeah.
of them have experience, even the
Right.
newer people. You know, so it's really cool. I had an agent come on Tuesday night that she's looking at us from a Medicare perspective. She's life and health licensed, and I plugged her in with Christy. The two of them were jihading, and then they had some good conversation. Now they're going to go have some coffee, and they're going to talk about whether it's a fit for her.
Gives you a little
Yeah,
confidence to know that you have someone you can call, you can reach out to. You got a little bit of relationship with someone.
correct.
You're not brand new now because
Exactly.
it's like when you go to school on the first day, you meet your friend. That's the first person that you're
That's
like,
right.
okay,
Yeah,
I feel good now.
I can do this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the
exactly.
good thing about the Fussell Group is like that family like aspect. You're never left behind. You're
Correct.
never left out. If a manager can't help you, an agent can help you. Like there's so many people here that want to help
100%.
and make
Well,
you
everybody
successful.
here, with the exception of maybe two people, are licensed, contracted,
Right.
certified. We can all help, and we can
Right.
get an answer, even if they just call the office.
Yeah.
You know, I like to try to be as accessible as I can. You know, but I'm not always the accessible person.
Right.
But if they're looking for me and I can't get an answer, they can call the office, and somebody here can help. You
Right.
know, and that's another fundamental thing that they've got to have access to help when they need it,
Mhm.
because they don't know that they need it until they need it.
Until they need it. And
And
right when they need it is when they need it.
and they better be able to get an answer. So
Right.
somehow or another, with all of the mechanisms that we've got in place, and we're starting that call program where they'll be able to call in and ask a general Medicare question or ask a DSNP Medicare question, and it's going to ring 4 or 5, maybe 6 people's phone numbers based on which direction you want it to go in,
Someone can pick up.
and somebody will pick up.
Yeah. I
Yes.
like that idea. I think that's going to be fantastic for agents. So you're not just calling one number. Oh, they didn't answer. Let me try another number. Oh, they didn't answer. It's calling multiple phones. Someone can pick up. And
Correct.
you only have to dial once.
Just dial once, and then somebody's going to answer the phone.
Yeah, fantastic. Lastly, let's touch on like the relationships that the Fussell Group has with carriers, because I feel like as an agency, we have really good relationships with our carriers, our carrier reps, our broker managers, and that is super important, especially from an agent's point of view,
new agent,
to
yeah, for
have
sure.
someone not only with the agency that you're with, but with these carriers that you can reach out to as well. And they offer events and support as well. So let's talk about
Correct.
that a little bit.
Sure. So, from an agency perspective, we've been partnered with every plan around here. So, the Humana folks, we've got a great working relationship with them because some of us came from Humana.
Hmm.
United Healthcare, which is now People's Health as well, we've
Right.
got a great working relationship with those folks. And if something comes up, or if there's some mirror leads, or if they're doing something in the community, or they need us to come help staff their actual storefront facility, they call us.
Right.
So that's a relationship that we have. With some of the other plans, we have opportunities to run through a call list with them, to where we can maybe make an outbound dial to some folks that are transitioning from Medicaid to Medicare now.
Hmm.
So it gives our agents an opportunity. So building those relationships, using those relationships. Heck, I texted one of them at 7:30 the other night to get an answer because it was the end of the month and one of our agents was looking for an answer and couldn't get one. So I sent a text message and got an answer immediately.
I texted
know?
Leslie with WellCare this morning, 7:30 this morning, in the line to get coffee. And when I tell you I had a text message back within 30 seconds,
100%.
it's fantastic.
And she's the one I was talking about Tuesday
Yeah.
night.
And with
So
those relationships, with having that with every carrier, which we do,
we do
is so important.
100%.
Because if you can't answer the questions here, you have someone there that can.
Yep.
And that's just another resource to these agents,
And we'll go have meaningful lunches with them and just talk about what are some of the things that are changing within the plan that maybe our agents need to know about, or
So we can keep them up to date.
100%.
Yeah.
And we better. That's what we need to do. So we do that emphatically. We make sure that we're going out of our way to help that.
Something that I notice on our VIP page all the time, our Fussell Group private group, is whenever we put any of that new knowledge or anything like that out, the agents appreciate it so much. They're like, thank you for, keeping us up to date. Thank you for telling us this. We would have never known. And that's just another benefit of the Fussell Group, is like, you're not left in the dust. You are in the know.
Correct.
We don't keep anything from you.
Nope.
You got to know what's going on to be working in the industry.
Successful. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and to know what you're talking about. So just having those carrier reps that communicate with us so well is so important too.
Yep, 100%. And what's awesome is some of those carrier reps are also on our VIP page, so they then
Right.
go in there and they'll
Right.
respond, and they'll
can
like,
answer.
post, and answer questions and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's really cool that we have that interaction.
Yes, it is. Well,
Yes.
Jeff, thank you so much. It was great to have you here today. I
glad
appreciate
to
it.
do it.
Your knowledge, info, everything was fantastic.
Thank you, Kara.
That's all for today. Jeff, thank you for joining us. If you've enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and stay on the lookout for more. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and visit our website at fgiala.com. Thanks for watching. This has been a Fussell Group Insurance Advisors educational production series. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and stay on the lookout for more. Please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and visit our website, fgiala.com.